G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing in the colour yellow as, I was going to say the Deli Sultanate, and it seems kind of weird not watching him play the Deli Sultanate. It's Szalami on the Malians. Yes, we are here on Altai of all maps. That's right, Altai is just popping off at the moment in the ranked ladder. It's kind of crazy, but he's going to be playing the Malians here. On the other side of the map though, we've got the Muslim. Well, you know what? I should probably give him a real introduction, shouldn't I? Ladies and gentlemen, in the north of the map, on the colour orange, playing as the Holy Roman Empire, representing Team Liquid, it is the Muslim. There you go. There you go. Make it a little bit more authentic, a little bit more real. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are on Altai again. Now, there is something wrong with Altai. I don't know exactly what it is, but I looked at the statistics, and let me tell you right now, Altai is twice as likely to... or you're twice as likely to get Altai out of your maps than any other map in the map pool by far. More likely to get Altai than Dry Arabia, than Lipany, than any other map that there is. More than twice as likely. That is how likely you are to get Altai. Now, my suspicion is that Altai is absolutely bugged. There is 100% a bug for Altai right now. And we did actually call this out in the in the beta for this patch. I had a theory that Altai, it just seems to be popping up all the time. And look, you can take this as you will. Maybe you want to play civilizations that excel on Altai. Maybe you really like the map. For me, though, I don't like having the same thing over and over and over again unless it's Dry Arabia. I can play Dry Arabia all day and I will not complain. You give me that thing 17 times in a row and I'm still asking for more. Hook me up. But for Altai, though, it's a little bit different. And that's me saying that as a China main as well. Like obviously China very, very strong on Altai. But let's focus a little bit about what we've got here in front of us. It's going to be a single scout opening from both players. Plenty of sheep coming in at the moment for Szalami. Let's make sure we switch this bad boy over as well so we can see exactly where our villager allocation is. And you can see Szalami is about to age up at the moment. Drop down the pit mine, only 2 houses, which is basically your fastest age up possible that you can do with this civilization. Now, my question is whether he's going to be going for trade here. When it comes to trade, this is one of the best maps that you can do trade on. Now, typically, you would see players look to try and put a market down in this corner, market up in this corner, and then go for a bit of trade along this edge of the map. So if Szalami's going to do any kind of trade, I would expect that he looks to put his landmark right here. I think this is probably going to be the best spot, and then that way he can pick it up. But he's not even going to do it. He says, you know what, I ain't doing trade. So Szalami, out of all the people, Szalami, typically considered to be by many the king of trade. I've seen this guy, I watched this guy trade a spoon for a house. And, obviously incredibly impressive from that moment. And he's only continued to get better, but still we don't see him going for trade here. Instead, going to be just playing it pretty standard here up against the Holy Roman Empire of the Muslim. So, a bit of a head scratcher. I'm curious, maybe he knows that the Muslim's got a bit of a counter up his sleeve. Maybe the Burgrave Palace is too strong against it. But nonetheless, we continue, we move forward, and I think the question now becomes, what does the Muslim look to do here? He's only going up with 3 villagers on the Arkan Chapel, and he's actually going to spot out the Mansa Quarry from Szalami. So he knows that Szalami, oh, beautiful timing as well right there, actually stealing away his own sheep from the Muslim. But yeah, he knows that Szalami's going for a Mansa Quarry, so that's going to give him all the info he needs to know. Szalami's the kind of guy that lets the Mansa Quarry get scouted and then cancels it and makes the landmark like back here. Like that is 100% a Szalami thing to do. Imagine if he actually did that. That would be huge. He's not going to do it though. I can dream. All right, sorry about giving you guys a black screen right there. Let's talk a little bit about this matchup, the way that it works, the way that it's going to unfold, or at least the way that we expect it to. So coming into this, the Holy Roman Empire, considered to be a pretty good civilization at the moment. Probably one of, I would say maybe top 2 or top 3 civs. That's how good this civ is. The Malians, probably the bottom, the lowest tier civilization that you pretty much can get at the moment. So Szalami's definitely got a big road ahead of him. Now, when it comes to the way that this plays, typically you do see 2 TC coming out for the Malians, but things have changed. People not really going towards that. The Muslim going to be looking for a fast castle here by the looks of it. A lot of villagers on gold is going to be the giveaway. You don't normally see this many villagers on gold unless there's going to be a fast castle coming through. Now, Szalami doesn't actually spot that out, but I'm sure he can do the math. He knows, okay, well, there's no villagers here, no villagers here. He might be able to sneak through along the edge here. There are villagers underneath the town center, so probably I want to avoid doing it. You can see he's going to get at least 2 shots in, one here and one here, so it's kind of suicidal for the scout to even attempt that, and I think he realizes that he can't go around that way, so he's going to have to come back around to the front. But he's looking for those villagers. He's trying to get a read on exactly what the strategy is going to be here for the Muslim. Back in the base of Szalami, though, let's check in on him and see what he's doing. Because it doesn't look like anything crazy is going on at the moment. We've got ourselves professional scouts coming through, of all things. A little bit curious. He will see exactly what his enemy's up to. Spot the villagers here on the gold. There's some deer here that could potentially be taken as well. You know, Szalami, the kind of guy to do that. But going to be going for a stable now. So I feel like if you're ever going to go for professional scouts, it just makes so much sense to open with a second scout. But already you can see Muslim is scaring in the deer. So looking to really try and make sure that Szalami can't interrupt this. So doing the right thing here and just trying to kill it as far away as he possibly can. And being pretty annoying here. But I think this is kind of standard at this point in time when it comes to... Oof, yikes. When it comes to the top level play, like I think this is quite a standard thing where you try and interrupt your enemy's deer, because they're always going to try and get a deer push on a map like Altai, on a map like Hillendale, wherever it spawns close. So I would expect that becomes quite standard. So you should not, like, don't flame your enemy for doing that. Rather, you should just start doing it to your enemy yourself. But we do have the age up coming through. It's going to be the Burgrave Palace, definitely becoming a bit more favored at the moment, the Burgrave Palace. But back towards the base of Szalami, it is going to be more scouts coming out, so we can see he's actually got scouts rallying into the town center. One warrior scout in the town center for the moment. What has he got in store for us here? Barracks also coming out. I look at Szalami and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. We're 6 minutes into the game right now and Szalami is just being chilling at the moment. Like John Cena is out there having a great time. Looks like he's just going to start by bringing in his deer. Okay. So keep in mind, deer, the way that it works, it's a lot better than what it used to be. So you can issue commands now to a scout that doesn't have a deer on its back to actually drop off the deer. So it looks like that's what he's doing. He's just got everything. He doesn't actually have them shift click, but I'm sure he will soon. So he's gone for 3 warrior scouts. He's actually going to look to pick up even more. So he might be able to come over here and potentially snipe these out, because they are quite far away. These 3 at the very least. But the age up about to come through now for Muslim, going with the classic 6:50 age up here for the castle age for that is so crazy how quick that is. And monastery getting dropped down straight away as well. So he's not looking to skip any beats at all. He's just going absolutely all in on this one. We do see the men-at-arms coming through, so the upgrade for them. Not going to be moving into spearmen at this point. Just going to be pumping out the men-at-arms non-stop. When it comes to villagers, he's got 20 villagers here on wood and 600 villagers, 600 gold gathered up at the moment. But it looks like he's queued up a couple of, just a couple of prelates. Obviously wants to keep that one in the Archon Chapel for as long as possible. But now we're just going to be going straight into Landsknecht. Interesting decision. This really forces the hand because typically going men-at-arms against the Malians, you'd be like, you know what, that's pretty easy to counter, right? Like you just get your Musafari out. But as soon as there's a Landsknecht in the mix, you're like, how do I deal with that? Because that is going to kill me. It does a lot of damage to the Landsknecht. Obviously, it's got that area of effect, or the area damage. And we can see the first of the Musafari going to come out here. And there's a whole bunch of them behind. So I got no idea where these came from. But look at the damage that comes out. And he's going to actually look to just focus down the Landsknecht here. But so much damage just gets done by the Landsknecht onto the Musafari. Now we see some spearmen coming out. So I think, does Muslim think that the men-at-arms, or rather the spearmen counter? Oh no, it's okay. It's over here to deal with the scouts. So smart move by him, and he does indeed steal away some of these deer here. But he should be able to get a run on. These guys are pretty quick, 1.22 movement speed. Just going to just hold them up for the moment. Musafari in the middle doing a decent job. We're right on board with Szalami, as he's going to be really looking to pump out the Musafari now. These guys are quite cheap, only 80 resources. So realistically, you can pump these guys out non-stop. Looks like Szalami avoiding the Muslim through the stealth forest as well. Now, keep in mind on this map, there are lots of little deer patches. So you got 3 deer here. We've got 3 deer over here, 3 deer up on the back side here, another 3 deer over here. So there's just 3 deer dotted around absolutely everywhere. So professional scouts is quite good on this map because, you know, obviously if you're spending resources on the wood, it doesn't feel the best. But veteran spearmen coming through. Musafari not doing the best against those veteran spearmen. We can see they actually trade out quite poorly. It's basically like spearmen versus spearmen at the moment, so definitely would advocate for something a little bit different than Musafari. Maybe even want to think about archers here when your enemy's got this many spears out. He's just getting cleaned up on the front line, so he's going to need to lift at this point. Question is going to be how he looks to do it, though. Behind this, we don't see any cows coming out just yet. Just going to be sticking it with a single pit mine as well. Does have actually there's the second pit mine coming down now. Prelate moving into the middle of the map. Finally got some archers coming out from Szalami. Definitely the right choice. Needs to move into this. And I'm curious how he looks to hold this, because he's going veteran spearman at the moment. Where is this prelate going? Don't tell me this prelate's going. Wow. Okay, ballsy prelate. I like that he had it rallied towards that position, but it was still not going around the backside. Like, it walked through the middle. So just a little bit of a mistake there from the rally points. But more Musafati coming out, more archers coming out as well. We do hear the relics being picked up, all across the map. The Muslim doing a great job with those prelates. But now it looks like the attention is going to get drawn towards the houses. It's going to try and look to pop block Szalami here. Wololol up towards the north. The scout's actually going to be... Oh, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good. Yoinkarino immediately drops the deer carcasses to the ground. Interestingly, these scouts don't have professional scouts already. This is probably the first time we've seen it. So Szalami going to get Wololol there. You don't often see Szalami getting Wololol. Normally, he is the one Wolololing. He is called the Wololol God for a reason. That's because he's very good at timing those Wololols. Obviously, didn't do the timing right there, but, you know, professional scouts, or rather warrior scouts, going to get turned off. So, interesting to see that the Wololol God, on his return, is the one who gets Wololol God. So, yeah, look, a little bit... Look, you can't win them all, can you, Szalami? You can't win them all, but hopefully he manages to win this one. It's going to be great to see Salami's return to ranked. You guys know, or will know, that Szalami is a very good ranked player. And I think at the moment, probably like top 20, top 30 on the ranked ladder, maybe even a little bit higher. He's very good, though. He's Conqueror 3, I can assure you guys. Yeah, for the most part, back in the base, everything just chilling at the moment. A lot of production down back here. 5 military production facilities, but he is pushing forward, deciding to push forward here against this mass, but it definitely feels like a little bit of a waste. And I feel like from this point, it's how does Deli pull ahead? Well, Deli, how does the Malians pull ahead? Because all of the relics are now getting picked up by the Holy Roman Empire player. He's still doing really well with the Archon Chapel as well. So it's the gold, the wood, it's affecting everything. Obviously nothing underneath the town center, but there are so many relics. He's actually got all 5 relics. We hear it getting snagged away there by the prelate. Villagers moving forward. It looks like he's going to go for an early outpost drop. I say early. We're at 12 minutes now. I assure you it's still early. Let's switch this bad boy over at the moment now to resources per minute. We can get a bit of an idea where these two guys are standing up. It looks like Szalami at the moment about 1,500 resources compared to the 2K of Demuslim. So already starting to build ahead. And now that outpost is going to be coming down. A toll outpost next to the Archon Chapel. So going to force these villagers away from this position. We do hear sacred sites also being captured behind the scenes. So Demuslim doing a really good job with his prelates, microing them, keeping them on the move, picking up all 5 relics and taking sacred sites. He's just so on top of this. So very well played from him. But now that push really looking to come to shove here. Now Demuslim knows about the toll outpost. There's not much he can do in this position. Just got to kind of fall back. Wait a little bit longer, but we do see triple archery range coming out for Demuslim. So a little bit of a rare sight to see archery ranges coming out from a Holy Roman Empire play. But I assure you, it is above board. Prelate got to be careful, actually. Might go down. There's undoubtedly going to be more units on the way, or more wolves on the way. Nice job by Szalami, though, to clean up those 2 sacred sites. Getting the warrior scouts really quickly over towards that position. We see walls now starting to come up as well for Demuslim. Really smart move here as well with the toll outpost to get the arrow slits in it, because it's going to be able to nullify it. Basically 50% of the Archon Chapel at the moment. Obviously doesn't get the wood line, doesn't get the gold, and also forces no farms to be coming down over on this west side. But we do see sacred site is going to be returned at this point, and we got a little bit of an attack up towards the north. Look at this force starting to build up here from Szalami. A whole bunch of Musafati warriors. He's going to move on to the next house. Emergency repairs comes down on the first. Plenty of archers on the backside as well. So Demuslim doing the right thing. If he just goes for mass archers here, he just wins this, because archers with veterancy upgrade, I mean, they've got more health, they've got more damage. What do you do? But Szalami looking at pushing hard right now with outposts. More outposts coming up with Szalami. And he holds on for the moment. Second outpost around this wood line. Look at the villagers scrambling to try and get this wall down. Keep in mind, he's not going to be able to fire on these villagers on the opposite side of the wood line unless he's got line of sight there. But obviously, plenty of scouts means that it's always going to be possible. Beautiful job at the moment by Szalami to try and look to contain his enemy. Behind this, he could always think about adding in trade. Not going to be doing it at the moment. Really just looking to put the pedal to the metal and focus on that primary reason why he's here. And that reason, obviously, is to try and take out his enemy. Now, we could potentially see a chop through come in. And indeed, it's going to be a chop through. So he looks to chop through. And the consequence here of going for these walls in this area is just that it's very easy to chop through. And, I mean, there's no real way around that, right? Like, your enemy's always going to be able to chop you out when they've got that. But force is starting to look a little bit better for Szalami. He picks up a couple of villagers' kills here on the wood line at the same time. Push coming back out from the Muslim side. He's got plenty of relics in the bag as well. Could always look to pick one up and potentially throw out a Wallalol here as well, but finds a nice little window here. Men-at-Arms together with the Landsknecht pushing out. He needs to try and focus down the Landsknecht. It can be hard to spot them. You can tell by their yellow pants who they are. They look like Ronald McDonald, but he's still got plenty of them in here. Archers in the backside doing a decent job against the Musafati, holding the front line, but the main issue that he's going to have is just the Men-at-Arms are way too strong. No real way to respond to this, and beautiful job here by the Muslim to push out. Just bides his time, holds on a little bit longer, and then pushes once he knows he can beat what the enemy's got. So very well played, but now he's going to have to deal with these outposts. So many damn outposts firing down now. We do see these villagers could potentially come in, do a chop through, drop down another outpost here. But not going to be the point. Not going to be his goal at the moment. 5 archers still inside the toll outpost. Going to be losing their life very shortly. And the Men-at-Arms together with the archers clean them up. So behind this, what is Szalami doing? Where does he go from here? The first of the stone is now being taken. So Mansa Quarry is still going to be on gold. I say the first of the stone, but I think he needed stone in the first place to get the his arrow slits upgrade. So he's got this from somewhere, but now going to be looking to put up a defensive wall himself over on this side. I guess the reality is he can probably just delete the wall here and get through to this outpost. But the Muslim doing a decent job. Only 10 population difference between these two guys. Szalami with a bit of a lead on the village account. Obviously, the Muslim a lead on the military account. That's where that's definitely where it counts at the moment. And he can look to push that issue as well. I think he's got enough units where he can almost go 100% Burgrave Palace now and just power through and try and finish the game off that. And I think that's probably going to be the best choice, because where does Szalami go from here? He doesn't have any real way that he can deal with this combination, the Men-at-Arm Archer combination. Obviously, also the Landsknecht. Just a couple of Landsknecht. You don't need a whole lot of them. But just mixing those in, it's going to make it difficult for you. So I think at this point, the Muslim obviously very favored to win this game. If I had to put a percentage, I'd have to say about 80% likelihood that the Muslim wins this game from here. How does Szalami win? I think Szalami needs to wall up and get up to the castle age, but he's, oh my god, he's so far away from it though. That's the thing, right? Like, he's only getting his upgrades in now. I feel like the powerhouse that is the Holy Roman Empire economy is just so big at this point. 5 relics. He doesn't have any sacred sites, but he does have those relics just ticking in non-stop. I just don't know how you're going to deal with the Men-at-Arm Archer combo. I guess they could do this in the Feudal Age as well. Does this just go back to the Malian units not being that good? Is it just like the Musafati just needs a bit of a buff or something? I don't know exactly what it is, but it looks like we do get a bit of a patrol in. He's going to fall back away from that position. Look at the force difference. It's massive at the moment. Still, it's 28 or 27 military pop versus 32, so it doesn't seem that different. But I guess Szalami's got more units back in the base. Going to be going for javelin throwers, so a little bit more of a counter unit here, rather than like something to push them back. You know, if you've got sofas, then you can at least push back those archers. Whereas with the javelins, they just kind of stand by idly and let the enemy archers kill everything. And now coming through, javelin throwers, take a look at them on the backside, getting off some decent shots there. You can see all of those javelins just going into the dead body of his enemy. But he does actually force them back, doing a decent job right now. Doesn't want to lose them, but at the same time on the front line, the Men-at-Arms being quite strong, going up against those Musafati and just crushing them completely. I think that's just a combination of the extra armor that they've got, as well as that extra damage that they've got from the two-handed weapons. They don't want to be going for heavy maces because they're not really fighting too much against armored units here. And it's going to look very solid for Muslim here as he's going to pump out more and more units. Szalami down about 10 pop. Now those villagers going to have to fall back as one of them does go down. Not a whole lot of difference between the economies between these two guys. Keep in mind that in addition to the villagers, Szalami's got gold being generated here from his pit mines. So whereas there's, you know, the gold that's coming through from the relics, if we take a look right now, you can see 400 gold coming through from the relics that we've still got. I think it's about 90 gold coming through from each of these pit mines, so that is mitigated somewhat. And so from that, Szalami is able to hold on. The main fear that I've got right now is Szalami. He's not aged up, and there doesn't really seem like, or doesn't feel like there's going to be a window. The Muslim can just keep putting the pedal to the metal here, and Szalami's not really going to have time to blink it. Now the farm transition coming in for the Muslim, looking impressive. Take a look at this beautiful Holy Roman Empire farm transition. Lovely stuff. You love to see that. Emergency repairs coming in for the house. Very nice. It was getting killed slowly. Look at this, the outpost. Szalami being so cheeky right now, but these villagers could just siege down this outpost very quickly. And he knows that. He actually goes for the fortifications first. Now, I wonder if Szalami wanted to, if he could just go for mass javelin thrower here. I feel like that could probably work. And it looks like Szalami is actually thinking about going up to the next age instead, which is probably the right choice. But the Muslim's still yet to spot this out. I mean, he sees it, but whether he actually respects it. And the fortification comes through. It's hard to see that that's a fortification on the outpost as well. There's no real clear way to see that. I'd have to look at the two and really try and get a read, but back towards the middle. Let's jump up towards this spot. I just want to compare the pair. This one, that's fortified as well. That one is not fortified, I don't think. Yeah, it's not. So I think you can tell by the base of the outpost. And now he finally realizes Villager's going to try and siege down this outpost. But yeah, it's the base of the outpost. So you can see it kind of comes out where the yellow flares out like that. So that's the way that you tell. So very difficult to tell. Arislid's finally coming through as well. Beautiful position here from Szalami, and great choice to go in for that fortification first. But now the push coming through. Sofa numbers not looking the best right now. Would ideally like to see double-digit Sofa numbers. He's only got about 3 of them. Doesn't get a particularly good surround, and the men-at-arms just looking so damn strong in this position. They do have their Savage Mace. Their Savage Mace, that's a Heroes of New Earth reference. They've got their maces out, though. Their two-handed maces. And they just clean this position up completely. And you can see the difference right now in military population. Sure, Szalami's got a small victory on economic population, but it's not going to matter right now. Debusum miles ahead. And you'd suspect good game gets called any second here, because there's no way Szalami shuts this down. Debusum is on top of the production. He's underneath the town center. I suspect he's got +2. He does have +2 ranged armor, which means he can be under this town center all day. He's not going to take any damage from the town center, and he's going to have an absolute field day here, just chasing away the villagers. Szalami giving him a bit of a run for his money, but for the most part, the Wallalol God, unfortunately, probably going to have to tap out shortly. I mean, back towards the enemy base, you can see the men-at-arms have turned their way towards this outpost. It's going to take a while to get through it, so remember when you do get that fortification upgrade, that it increases your fire resistance. So you can see right here, resistance versus fire is up to 5. Compare that over to this one over here, and this has got a resistance of fire, a 0 fire resistance. So it means that the torch damage that's coming through, the 16 torch damage, gets reduced down to 11. So always try and get those upgrades if you think that your enemy's going to really try and break your position early on. But it looks like a couple of archers making their way through. Szalami holding his head above water for the moment, but the men-at-arms together with the archers, they're going to force back all of these villagers away from the pit mine. Going to be able to idle them, and I suspect he might even be thinking about moving out to other parts of the map. You can see there are villagers attempting to come out here. They're going to find the villagers of his enemy. And he slowly cleans up the outposts back home, but Debusum just so far ahead at this point. Up a massive amount of military pop. And I really got to give credit to him, the way that he played this. The fact that he's gone for the 5 relics, despite going up with the Burgrave. A lot of people would just look at the Burgrave and be like, me Burgrave, me make units. But it's not going to matter. Szalami going to be tapping out there, realizing that, you know what, I don't think there's any way I win this. The relic difference, the farm difference, I'm just too far behind. And indeed he was. Well, fellas, I hope you guys have enjoyed this game. Check out Szalami, check out Debusum. I'll leave links in the description to where you can watch them live. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. It was great to see Szalami back, but unfortunately a loss.